Hey guys, it's this time of the month again. So we're looking at all this stuff that has come to our YouTube channel in September. So some of these are purchases, some of these are sponsored stuff, and some of these are donations from you guys. Now, if you have donated something and it hasn't been featured in this video, don't stress. The postal system to Australia, it can take 6 weeks sometimes for items to arrive. So don't stress. So far, nothing has been lost in the mail ever, so just be a little bit patient. It might be featured in next month's video. Bought a bunch of ID ribbon cables off eBay. They are very cheap. They come out of eBay China. I bought 5 of them. I've already got a few, but it's always nice to have something that's new, sealed, and that you can unpack and everything. And yeah, you can't have enough ID ribbon cables lying around. Always handy in various projects. And I bought a bunch of processors. The first one is a Core 2 Quad Q8400 running at 2.66 GHz. Very decent CPU and might come in handy for some upgrade projects down the road. And I bought a video card. It's a NVIDIA GeForce GT 1030. So this is a modern graphics card. Usually budget and entry-level video cards are poor value, but this one isn't too bad. It performs right up there with a GTX 750. It is low profile, single slot, and pulls only 30 watts. And the reason I bought it is to use it in projects to do with used small form factor machines, basically turning a boring office computer into a budget gaming machine. And you will see this being used in a video very shortly, later this week actually. And a Q9400. I believe this one is very similar to the Q8400, but is on a smaller manufacturing process and draws a little bit less power. At least that's what I think it is. So yeah, another processor, very handy, quite useful to upgrade some Core 2 boxes with a quad core and run a bit of more modern stuff. And we got one of these office small form factor machines that I mentioned earlier. This one is supplied by K&N Computers, an Australian company. So this is more something for the Australian viewers. I basically emailed them and I said, hey, I've got a YouTube channel and I do videos on old computers. You selling these small form factor machines, I think these are awesome for a budget gaming machine. You just put in a video card and off you go. And they seemed fine with it, so they sent me the machine. In return, I get to keep it. And there will be a video later this week, basically talking about the machine and the experience, upgrading the video card, running some modern games, yes, believe it or not. And another quad-core CPU for the Socket 775. This one is a Xeon, the X3230. I'm not quite sure why I bought it. I believe someone mentioned it, or... No, I remember. I saw it. I saw the model number on a datasheet for one of the HP Socket 775 small form factor machines I've got, and this was one of the more affordable processors. So yeah, that could also be interesting for upgrading an old Core 2 Duo OEM machine, for example. And this is very special. I haven't opened it yet, but this is from Creative Labs actually. So big thank you to Rennie. He sent me an email and he said, look, watched some of the YouTube videos and I'm enjoying them a lot, and you did a video on the AW64 and that's really awesome, and we'd like you to send this and do a video review on it. So let's have a look what they actually sent us. How cool is that? This is the latest Sound Blaster and they are celebrating a 15-year anniversary, and I'm not quite sure what type of video I'm gonna make. On the one hand, I could make a review of this card, but lots of other people have already done this. I'm thinking of doing more like a look back, starting with the first Sound Blaster and looking at all the creative models and how we arrived at this sound card. But yeah, this sound card is extremely impressive. It's got 32-bit resolution, 384 kilohertz sample rate, 122 decibel DAC, so very high end. And I checked out some reviews out there from other people, and everyone's raving about it. It's got really good reviews, so yes, I can't wait to work with this sound card. And I got myself some more cleaning stuff. Now recently we did a few videos on cleaning old computer parts, and so many of you recommended me to buy some isopropyl alcohol, and I read all your comments. I might not answer to every single one of them, but the amount of comments I got was like, yeah, you just gotta go and buy some. And I know that these little bottles with the spray function, they're poor value for what you get. You can just buy like a whole liter for a less or similar price. But I find this very convenient with the spray function, and I've been using them already, and I'm amazed. This is really, yeah, it just works, and it works a lot better than I thought it would. So yes, guys, you were right, and isopropyl alcohol is now in my kit of cleaning products. And I got a nice little care package from Electromine, so let's have a look and see what they sent us. So I want to do a few videos covering memory. So we've got a bunch of SIM memory here. These ones are the 72 pin for the 486 and early Pentium, and they come in 3 flavors. We've got speed ratings of 70 nanoseconds, 60 and 50. So the idea is to do a video showcasing a 486 and checking out the differences with the memory timing, setting them in the BIOS, and how far you can take it, and whether it's worth getting something like a 50 nanosecond memory stick, or if 60 or 70 is all you need. And we have an assortment of SD-RAM and DDR memory, and some of these support ECC, and that is something I really wanted to check out. So ECC memory is basically from the server world, and it can correct memory errors, and maybe you're looking for that little bit of extra stability and reliability even in your retro gaming machines, so that might be an interesting video. And also the performance, I believe there's a little bit of a performance impact with ECC memory, and I just want to find out how much it is and if that actually matters for retro gaming. And next up we have a generic PCI ID controller with RAID functionality, cheap off eBay, cost around $10 or something like that, including postage, so it wasn't expensive at all. Comes with a chipset from Silicon Image, and I've made really good experiences with those chipsets. Here's the BIOS chip, and yeah, so maybe something to do with RAID, maybe doing a RAID 0 array with Windows 98 or something like that. Not quite sure. Let me know if you've got any suggestions. Electromine also sent us some video cards. The first one is a GeForce. This is the FX 5900 XT, and the GeForce FX is very, yeah, it's got a colorful history, let's put it that way. And this card is basically a downclocked 5900 Ultra. So if you can't find, or if it's too expensive to get a 5900 Ultra, then maybe this card is worth checking out. So yeah, really interesting to see what this can do, and can't wait to put it on my test bench and run some benchmarks. And this is an ATI Radeon 9000. I'm not too familiar with this card. It's got this media front panel connector that a lot of these Aldi Medium PCs used to have to connect video capturing inputs and outputs to the front panel. And this one has the Rage Theta chip, and it looks like it's got all the inputs and outputs for capturing. So this could be handy if you're dealing with old home computers or old consoles and you want to capture the video output. So getting one of these could be quite handy for that. I believe the Radeon 9000 is a bit of a budget card. As I said, I don't know too much about this card just yet, but there will be a video on it, and I will know a lot more very soon. And I bought a couple of chipset coolers. They are also available on eBay, very cheap, just a few dollars. And what I like about this model is it comes with the push pin connections, so you can use them for motherboards where the chipset cooler uses push pins. But it's also got those brackets with little hooks. Some of these motherboards, they just use an alternative mounting mechanism, and this one works with both. And at the top you can install a 40mm fan, just need some screws, so you can pick the fan, whatever RPM speed you're after. So yeah, I've got a motherboard with a dodgy chipset fan, so this will be very likely the first candidate to receive a little bit of an upgrade. And I bought a few memory coolers for video cards, especially if you've got a video card with DDR2 memory. They run a little bit hotter, and maybe the existing memory cooler, maybe one of them fell off or something like that, or a bit of rust or whatever reason, they can come in very handy. So yeah, bought a few, some in black, some in silver, so always handy to have one of these. And we got a donation to our YouTube channel. Dylan, thank you very much. So let's have a look what we have here. This is the item I was really after. It doesn't look like much, but it's very useful. It's for a 486 motherboard that I've got that has a header for a PS2 mouse connector, but I didn't have an adapter. So he sent me this adapter. I had to reconfigure the pins on the adapter here, but otherwise it's now working great. So I've got a 486 with a PS2 mouse, so that is really awesome. We also got two 486 CPUs. We've got a 486DX running at 33 megahertz, and then this one, this is the fastest 486 running at 133 megahertz. And I already have a few of these, and I actually realized I've never done a project building like a super fast 486. I had a go at the DX266, and I think I've done a video using a DX4, Intel DX4, but I don't think I've used this CPU in a project yet. So that's definitely something I should be doing at some point. And we also got a PCI video card. This is with an S3 chip. I forgot what the exact model is. It's one of those early 3D chips, so a little bit newer than the Trio, for example. Has a really excellent image, so that was really awesome. It also has TV out, so if you ever want to find a cheap method for capturing 486 video output, then yeah, this video card might be worth looking into. And I'm using this video card in my 486 now. The picture is nice and centered. It's got good black levels. Some of these S3 cards, they've got a bug where the black levels are off. So yeah, that's an awesome addition. And thanks again for the donation. Greatly appreciated. Bought some thermal pads. They come in like a square of 10 by 10 centimeters, and very handy if you're trying to like repair an old video card and it's got some old thermal pads in there. These are really handy. Initially the plan was to use that with the Radeon 9700, 9800 cards, because they've got a shim surrounding the GPU area, which is actually taller than the actual GPU. But in the end, I just decided to remove the shim altogether. It's actually really easy. It pops off. Yeah, doesn't need much force at all, and you get the best cooling solution. So yeah, wasn't able to use them as intended, but you never know when you need them. Can definitely come in handy. And I bought myself an Xbox One S. This has nothing to do with retro gaming, but I just want to share what's going on in my life. I already had a PlayStation 4 and I had a 360. And look, I don't play too many games, but I have these subscriptions. So I've got the PlayStation Plus subscription and the Xbox Gold. And every month you get some games and you can download them. And yeah, I always got the Xbox One games, but I couldn't play them. And I was looking for a cheap price basically to pick one up. And eBay, they had an 18th anniversary and an 18% off coupon. And I used it, and it cost me 230 Australian dollars. So look, it's not much money at all, and it means I can have one console, play the Xbox One games as well as the Xbox 360 Gold games. I can pack away the 360, and yeah, I like console games every now and then when I'm, working, building computers and doing reviews. When I want to relax, I actually play some console games on the big TV with surround sound, and it works pretty well. So I'm not one of those haters who's PC Master Race and console peasants, anything like that. I like to think that I'm flexible and that I see something positive in everything, and console gaming is still pretty cool. Now, what games am I playing? Not many, like I said. Sometimes I play nothing for a couple of months. The last few games I really enjoyed was the Just Cause 3 and Until Dawn on the PlayStation, so these are very good. And on the Xbox One, I'm playing Forza 5 now. That's a really awesome game. And I bought an Adaptix SCSI card for PCI Express. Remember when I reviewed 10,000 and 15,000 RPM hard drives, and I used a PCI card, and a lot of you said that that's actually holding us back, and that's true. The hard drives can do a little bit more. So hopefully using this controller, we can really find out what these fast SCSI hard drives can actually do. In terms of operating support, I believe they definitely support XP, maybe Vista or 7, but I didn't have much luck popping it into a Windows 10 machine. But yeah, I'll have to spend some more time with it. So nice purchase, and I was waiting quite a while for this one. It actually took 6 weeks to arrive from overseas, but it's finally here. So there you have it, guys. I was actually trying not to buy too much stuff, but you know how it is. You just get carried away late night on your laptop browsing eBay, and before you know it, all this stuff accumulates. Let me know what you think. If you've got any comments about these bits and pieces or any questions, leave them down below in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks for the support, and I shall see you soon with another one.